Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, everybody. What it do? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you again with another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Focus podcast. I got my boy, Ryan Reed, my cousin, Mr. VNO.
VNO, what you know?
That is, let him get it in. And we got Miss Jennifer Williams here as well. Now, hold on, it's going to get hot in here. So I got to be ready. Okay, so this is the deal, everybody. As you look at the title of this podcast episode, it's the Business Networking Event episode, because my friend here, Jennifer Williams, has put on a wonderful business networking event. Now, it is wonderful to us because all these lovely people here in the room and sitting outside, we are in a suite here, but we got kind of done wrong. I don't mind saying it. These people don't know me. I don't know them. Who give a damn, right? But
maybe we should close the door first.
They can hear us. It's okay. They can hear. It's okay. They don't know what we're doing over here, y'all. But with this episode, what we want to do is we want to talk about starting a business in Northwest Indiana and some kind of the trials that we got to go ahead and we got to face with. I hear something.
Sorry.
It's okay. But this is just normal people. We deal with lag, we deal with issues, problems, blah blah blah, all that other mess. What we do is we record and we run through it all. This is how I go when you live tape. I do it Monday through Thursdays with Dope Living, and we doing it right now. So here we go. So all right, y'all, listen, we're gonna kick it off. So Miss Jennifer Williams, how are you today?
Given the circumstances, I'm actually feeling a lot better.
Okay.
It started out as a crappy day. Probably dropped a bunch of F-bombs. Probably wanted to choke a bunch of people.
Just a smidgen.
You were standing in my face. I think I wanted to kind of like land on you a little bit, but I'm like,
It makes sense.
But actually, I'm in a great space right now.
Okay.
So
tell the people out there what you were trying to actually do today.
Well, today was the Business Networking Event 2023. Jeff knows he's been actually trying to get me to do events for a while now.
Yes, Lord.
Starting.
Yes, Lord.
But I felt like I retired from doing that. I didn't really want to do it anymore. So the bank came to me with a great opportunity to put on an event at the Railcat Stadium. Get to the Railcat Stadium. It wasn't what we talked about. So this is one of those, I feel like, when people always say the pros and cons, and I felt like this was like a failed attempt. I felt like, because I just know how I kind of operate and do things. So I was a little crushed and upset and hurt in the beginning because I looked at the opportunities that it could provide for all of us Black owners or business owners to get seen, get a little bit maybe foot traffic for our businesses. But hey, we sitting up in the suite, and some people stayed and some people left. But, people was very understanding about what happened and how the ball was dropped on some things. So I'm not going to beat myself up. But what I'm going to do is do something else. So if I put this together, guess what? We're going to do something else where we actually have a real event.
Yeah, because the name of the game, people, is resilience. And the thing is, whenever you have a business, whenever you have anything like that, you want to make sure. I always look at it like this. There's never a failed attempt when you're in business, people. What it is that there's always a way to look at something greater and better on the other side. And if you're not trying to do that, what are you in business for? If you're not willing to look at the bright side of things and how different things can kind of come about, like, we don't have time to complain. What we have time to do is we have time to create, to make money, and to make things better.
Yeah. It's hard though, man. Ahead. It's hard. I was actually watching I was watching this special with Grant Cardone. Anybody that's in business, Grant Cardone. I mean, one of the richest men in the world, not even the U.S., in the world. And so he went on this billionaire. It was like undercover. What's the name of it? Undercover Boss. And so it's for entrepreneurs. Really? They put him out in the middle of a city that nobody knew him. He had to shave his head. Yeah. And he basically had to build himself back up. They gave him $100.
That was he was in the desert, right?
Yeah. Well, he was in Pueblo, Colorado. They gave him a truck, $100, and he said, I could make $1 million business. I think it was like 60 days. Yeah. From $100 and a truck. No place to stay. They drop you off. Nobody knows you. You can't use any of your contacts. Yep. The thing that I was watching was it was the show, but it was him talking about the background to the show. And it was amazing because, just like you just got down, this man is on the top of his game. He did $100 million in a month in real estate. $100 million in a month,
man.
And he get dropped out in the middle of nowhere. And he talked to this guy. Yeah. And this dude treated him like crap. He didn't know him. His main thing was, I need to make contacts because that's his assets. I got $100. My contacts are my assets. There you go. And so he gets out in the middle of nowhere. He put the $100 in the bank because he said it ain't nothing anyway. He said, at least I look better that I got a bank account. Instead of they could call the bank and look me up. Yeah. So I'm studying all of this. I'm listening to everything that he's saying because this man about to build himself from nothing to I think he pulled it to a $7 million business.
So what did you take out of that? What did you take out of that?
I was looking at everything that he did. What did he do?
Okay.
So the way that I'm relating it back to this is when he walked into this meeting, this man treated him like garbage. He couldn't tell him that he was Grant Cardone, and he actually needed a minute. I watched him, so I'm watching him get down on himself. He's like, and he literally, I think he might have shed some tears. Because it affected him that much, and we were thinking in our minds like this is one of the top businessmen in the world, and he don't get down no more. He just keep it moving. No, he's a human being. You still gonna get down, Jennifer. You had this day. You still gonna get down. But his bounce back was so quick. He remembered. He started one thing that I noticed, and he don't say this. You just gotta pick it up. As after he got done being down on himself, he got back and he started building himself up right away. He allowed himself to be down and he told the camera crew, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. I can't do this right now. He said, y'all about to mess me up. And he was like, you could see he was shaking. He was affected by this. And then like 30 seconds later, he's like, all right, let's do this. We got to go. We got to go. Get it out. Yeah, we have to. Now we got to go. Yeah. Now we got to go and talk to this person. That's done. That's over with. I allowed myself to be done. And that's what you did today. That's done and over. We in the room right now. It's the bounce back game. It's how can you take a no and come back from it?
Yes. Because the name of the game is resilience, people. Resiliency.
That's why we got a core, because of resilience.
It is. Let me tell y'all this quick story about the core real quick. That's how we got the core. My man was looking for an extension cord.
I'm humble
because he humble, y'all, because he had to go ahead plug in. We got our whole setup behind here, man. It take a little time to do this, but he needed an extension cord so he can plug up this Thunderbolt box or whatever. All my man did was he didn't say, Jeff, I'm gonna go back to your car and get it. He said, why should I have to go back to your car if I can just ask? So he asked. You have not because you asked now, right, people? So he asked.
Immediate no.
That's right.
No, sorry, we don't have that.
No,
you sure? No, we don't have that. No.
Which I knew that was incorrect. Like, quit playing. You got a doggone stitcher cord around here.
And then what happened at the end?
She had an extension.
We got a red extension cord.
Well, the thing is, what I'm learning, man, is I had to ask myself, especially with my podcast, with the business that I started, how do I make money and what am I selling? If you're doing podcasting, what am I selling? And I actually put it on camera. I set it up while I was driving. I said, how can I make money off this? Of course, everybody say you can make money off ads. You can make money off of whatever. What am I selling? I'm selling myself every day that we all wake up. You selling yourself. You selling your personality. You selling I went to a concert last night. Snoop Dogg, Too Short. And you look, what's the t-shirts they sell? It's got Snoop's face all over it. All these years, he been selling himself. He sell weed because that's what he do. That's what he do. He's smoking.
It's a part of Snoop. It's actually a part of Snoop.
And he got his own weed company because I smoke weed every day. I might as well have a company about it. Bro. He making money. We make money off of who we are. We sell ourselves every day. You gotta push yourself out there. So what do? She gave me a no, and I'm learning that I'm selling myself. So she don't care if she get me a cord or not. I care if you give me a cord or not. Let me give you some options here. So how about this? How about, I know you got a cord. No, I don't have one. What about the vacuum cleaner? You know what, sir? You're right. Because she don't care. I wouldn't care either if I was her.
So long story short, people always ask about the vacuum cleaner. Yeah. Because the vacuum cleaner.
Long story short, don't take a no.
Yeah, don't take a no. Don't take a no.
Keep pushing till you get that yes.
I had to be funny in here, people. I got to put a little something.
Don't take a no. People gonna tell you no because nobody cares about your business.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care about your business. They're gonna tell you no automatically right out the gates. They're gonna say, no, I'm sorry, I don't need that. And then you gotta you got to find a way. How do they need this? Jennifer, how do you talk me into, look, you talked about your comfortable chairs. Part of you is your comfortable chair.
And let's segue into that.
I'm sorry, yeah, because I talk all day. Let me shut up, Jennifer. You the specialist here.
Let's segue into that because we did a lot of talking, y'all, before we were actually here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did a lot of talking.
Even brought me up.
Before we it's all right, dog. You good. Look, listen, the whole thing with this podcast is people got to be dropping nuggets. And if y'all was paying attention, this man dropped some nuggets. So if you missed it, you missed it. But if you got it, you got it. So now we got one part of the nugget piece. Let's move on to the other part here. So tell them about your comfortable chair scenario. Give them some game real quick on the ambiance and the setup. How you just steal people money.
How you make people steal.
How you just take people money.
Take it.
They give it to me.
I even gave you a tip.
And they give it to me with grace. Because again, I sell myself, the knowledge, what I can offer them. I don't start off telling people about the money aspect. I'm letting them know why they need this a part of their life. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I make my office and my whole vibe in my office nice and inviting. I didn't want like a typical office with chairs and, you know, the whole tax office. A lot of people always come like, it smells nice in here, good vibe, it's music, things like that.
Shut that door.
So I feel like this. People is coming into my office and they spending a lot of money. So I want to make it very comfortable for you because I want you to feel good about going in your pocket and your wallet. And a lot of times is people say, I have 30-minute consultations. I don't know how many people who have been in my office 2 and 3 hours.
You better tell
Sometimes people just need to vent, get things off their chest and things like that. They looking for answers. So the crazy part is people don't notice about me. I used to want to be a therapist. I find myself dealing with business that I have literally therapy sessions on a regular basis every day at work with people. I like to encourage people. When people feel like this is the end of the world, they want to give up on themselves. I always kind of like give people a backstory of where I started. And I always tell people it's never going to be an easy road. Like today, I was very upset. I almost wanted to, I told Jeff I wanted to punch him a little bit. Probably the wall, probably a couple people.
Yeah,
the guy at the front desk, but I just told myself like,
that's what she said.
It is what it is at this point because it's like I felt like at this point this is like one of those failure moments. That's what I felt like to me. But I had a lot of support from everybody, and that actually, like I said, it just softened the blow a whole lot. So again, is this one of those moments where you feel like it's the end of the world? You failed at something, and sometimes when that happens with a lot of people, they feel like I'm done, I'm over it, blah blah blah. But in my mind, I felt like this was like a teaching moment.
Okay,
I learned something from this.
Yes.
All right. This happened. Now it's what you gonna do.
And that's that thing, yo. You got to make sure that you learn from every experience that you go through on the journey. Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's so easy to quit and give up. It's so easy to say I'm done. But if you're not learning from how do you expect yourself to grow from that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hate my job.
Yeah.
I just want to quit it. I mean, I
hear this from Jeffrey probably like at least once or twice a week.
Lord.
But we have
We're praying for him to come out this meal.
What if you learn from your job? Like I've learned, I'm a boss on my job, and if I didn't have this job, there's so many things that I wouldn't be able to take into my own business that I'm starting. God knows. You know what I mean? That I probably still need this job. God, I know.
But everything you learn throughout the course of journey of life, I always feel like all the different jobs that I hated, things that I did because I had to provide for me and my son, it actually prepared me to be my own boss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. And that's what it is because it's certain aspects that I can't stand about my job. I normally can't stand people, but it's fun.
I do your taxes, you make a lot of money, Jeffrey.
Okay, y'all. Leave that alone.
She putting out all my business. But your check is fat,
she right? Just put out my business. Quiet. I don't care about the check being fat, but what I'm learning is it's about the quality.
Well, your check is very quality to me.
You know what? People don't listen. She count my pockets. Don't listen. She count my pockets. But anyway,
I do your taxes.
But I ain't got time for you. But the thing is, what it's about people is that I hate my job. But the thing is, a lot of things that I learned was that I have a low tolerance for like people just knowing how to do stuff, because when I do my job, I'm gonna do it right. You know what I mean? When you have a job, you want to do it right. You want to do it to the highest level. I don't care if the person behind me didn't do the highest level, but the thing is, I'm not gonna come up and try to fix their mistakes too. You know what I mean? So what I learned from my job is do the best that you can do. Because if you do the best that you can do, you put your best foot forward. And if somebody else don't, sometimes it might trickle back and come on you, but if you know how to adaptably work around people, you'll never have to worry about that.
No doubt.
Only thing I deal with is attitudes, and I'm okay with attitudes because I can just walk to the left or right and leave you all by yourself. I can leave your attitude with
that no matter what.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. Because that's a choice. That's a choice. You choose to let somebody's negativity enter into your space and into your room. And I choose when I'm at a job for 8, 12, or 16 hours to say, nah, homie, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Well, I witnessed one time you was arguing with a coworker, and I'm like, calm down.
She heard the whole
Calm
conversation.
down.
It was wild. It was like I asked the question, my man went left real fast.
Real
and
quick.
she was like,
I thought they was going to start fighting that word.
nah, I ain't got time for that. Security escort you out, all this
You
other
gotta
stuff
realize
like that.
environments like that are a little different than the office environment.
And this is true. When you in a more rugged, industrial-esque environment, we talk a little different. We may say things a little vulgar. We may go ahead and some things might slip out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you in your office setting, you keeping everything professional.
Always.
You know, always.
Even when sometimes I get yelled at, things like that, I always keep a smile on my face because I don't let other people's energy dictate how I'm gonna like operate or deal with them on a regular basis. Because you know, I just let them get out, and after so long, when I'm still being nice to people, they be like, you know what, I apologize for my behavior. I was going through X, Y, Z.
Fact.
And I kind of like figure that out sometimes. Sometimes people just need to vent, and they might just unleash on you because a person, he just left the store, she just left the store, treated them a certain type of way, so they need to get that frustration out, and you just the first person that they just you know what I'm saying.
How far is too far with that unleashing and that jabbing out on somebody?
But don't cuss me out, call me out my name now. I'm gonna open up my top drawer with my little friend right there. Saying, you know, I keep my little friend close.
So this is what we realize.
You know, I keep a friend
if
close.
you didn't get nothing from this statement right here, just know that if you knock on the door, she got a piece
I got my little
of
friend
steel waiting on you. She got that Medea piece of steel.
And I am not scared to use it.
Bro, I was with her when she closed up one day. I was her last client of the day, and she just talking to me, and she just
you had to watch yourself.
As she talking, she like, yeah, so you know, Jennifer, how long you been? She just pull out the gun and tuck it in her purse. Put it on, and we walk out the door. I say, well, at least I know I'm safe.
That is what we call comfortable protection, people.
Right.
I because I get all the time. People like, you ain't scared? I be like, no, I got my little friend right here. What I be scared? I'm never scared. Even people that I just met, I don't never feel like somebody is gonna harm me or anything like that. Like I feel like I give good energy, and I kind of like know people's vibe and things like that. So even like I had like 2 dudes sitting up in there looking like some thugs one day. I was just like real comfortable and cool. They was looking at me like all grimy and everything. I'm like, child, please. This one guy, I went to go show him a rental property. It was like 5 dudes who walked in. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous that day. And the dude told me, he was like, man, I just knew you was gangster because you walked up in the house with a bunch of dudes and you ain't know, and you just looked like you was cool. I said, oh no, I had my friend in my pocket. I really did. I had my hand in the pocket as I was walking in. I wasn't tripping.
She was ready.
In your little dress. It's gonna be a whole hole in you. She got her hands in her dress with a gun in her pocket. They ain't even gonna know what hit her. Oh, that's messed up. Jennifer, what's the name of your business? And then I want to give a shout out to your business too, because you did me right. You did something for me that hasn't been done for me in 10 years.
I know my friend All-in-One Tax Service. He was excited. He asked me, did I need any more money or anything? Did I need anything else? Like, no. So he always, do you want me to share? Or you can share. Go ahead. Share a little bit.
Yeah, well, what's All-in-One Tax Services? So you did my taxes this year. This was the first year that I had a business, and I didn't know how to do any of this. And you said, Ron, you put your business in here with this. Yeah. And she said, you have write-offs. What have you done? And I didn't even realize some of the write-offs I got. I have literally been I've owed the government every year for the past.
I got you like a little small refund this year. Then
look, small, it was a refund, period. I'm used to paying.
Understand this,
yeah, like 10 years, Jennifer, I went and I was taking my taxes to other people to do my taxes. I probably could have used this business last year. Yeah, I could have used it last year, but you used it on 2022's taxes. Yeah. Either way, and this is the first time in 10 years I didn't owe. Forget getting money back. And on top of that, I got money back. On top of that, I was paying month by month. And so I was able to take what I got back and pay off my debt. And now I don't. That's
what I wanted to do. I said, I want to try to get you enough money where you can pay your debt off. Yeah. And you was like, really? I'm like, man, people don't know Jennifer Williams. Man, you need to get into it with Jennifer Williams.
Right here.
We do have to say this.
Y'all holler at All-in-One Tax Services, man. She will do you right. She is a professional now. You go sit on that couch, she gonna get you right.
Now listen.
Don't go acting up though.
And for the people that's wondering, She not gonna get you no illegal money, people.
No,
we have to.
Everything was legit. Everything was legit.
Because there's some people throughout the years, and I'm gonna say it in Northwest Indiana who got shut down. Because
I know a lot of
scamming. She know a lot of
I had a couple people run up on me and was trying to act like they was trying to get their taxes done, but they was trying to like feel me out. And one dude said, I scrubbed the black market. I said, what's the black market? He said, well, a site where people be trying to like dump stuff off where they don't want you to see. He said they used to have 400 clients. His wife actually went to prison. One of the people from the IRS posed as a customer or whatever, and she was doing some illegal stuff. Now
she took the hit for
her husband. Now he wonder why his wife can't stand him. Dude, your wife is in prison for you.
Hey.
What you mean?
I put money on her books.
No.
And he was trying to see, was I professional? Was I one of those Grammy people? He said they used to have over 400 clients. They had it sold up. He was like, man, you like real thorough. I checked you out. I said, well, I'm glad you checked me out. But I always tell my clients, I want you to check me out. I want you to feel comfortable doing business with me. So I don't just work with people in Indiana, Illinois. Actually, my clients is all over. So I prefer people to do their due diligence on me, because like a lot of my clients, I want to say about half of them I've never even met or seen in person before. So which is good, because a lot of times they say they find me on Google and they say they read my reviews. I have great reviews, and they say my face look friendly. So that's the only reason they went with me, because I look friendly.
Until they meet her.
That matters.
Let me stop. But see, that's what's up. And see, that's why we got to highlight this. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, we have options today, people, because there are a few things that we could talk about today. Yes, we've hit on the business side. I didn't know if we were going to go and segue into something else as well. People, just so you know, we were talking about relationships earlier, so this can get a little deep.
I like that.
Y'all know how I go. Usually your boy be yapping by himself, so I give y'all 30 minutes or less of Jeff, because it's only so much accountability that y'all can handle.
Jeff can talk.
And they know I can talk. And as you can see, my cousin can talk too.
Oh,
we
yes,
do a podcast
you
together.
can tell they related. They very long-winded, both of them.
Jesus. So
I got a story for a story.
So this is what I'm gonna ask y'all, because we can do y'all want to pivot into the relationship part of this? Because we
really about to do that?
Because I got a good, because we could do 30 minutes of the business.
Yeah, we had a great conversation.
Yeah, you know,
Shalika sitting over there, she was very giving her
input
on things.
Input on things.
Yeah, everybody in the room. So we can make this like an open forum.
Oh, let's make it open for. Okay, so who is gonna ask the first question? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 people.
I have a wonderful question for you, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
So
Hold on. We're gonna do it like this.
You want to?
We want you to be heard. We're gonna swing this mic over. You don't have to come on. Come just get closer to the mic.
Quite loudly.
Okay. There it is. Go ahead. I'm gonna point it this way for you. Go ahead.
So as a single woman, I struggle with men contacting me via my DM.
Okay.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
She put that so elegantly. Contacting me via my DM.
And I know it's a method of communication.
Okay.
I don't want to be rigid and cold. But I don't want to appear that I'm down for whatever either.
Okay.
So help me to gain perspective, because as a business owner, I feel like all my info is public. Why the necessity in using the DM to contact someone that you're supposedly interested in? And should I be uncomfortable in that? And what questions can I ask to weed out the intention?
So I'm gonna tell you why they in the DM. Men are in the DM.
Tell me, because I'm tired of them being a man.
It's because
you might want to take your logo off of this.
Man, look, we already in the game now. We already in this deep. Ain't no turning back now. So I'm gonna tell you why they in the DM. The reason why they in the DM, well, we gonna tell the truth. They in the DM because they want to be discreet. Whenever you're dealing with men who just want to contact you that way. Now, granted, me and my wife, we met via dating app. Okay. So I didn't have to do a DM or nothing. I tried something different. You know, it can work for certain people. So I don't knock it, because sending the DM isn't a bad thing. But first I would ask, while they're being discreet, what is on your Facebook page? Is it strictly business? Is it fun? Business and Jesus. There it is. Okay, well, girl, that ain't nothing but the enemy trying to knock on your door.
That's generally what it feels like.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
a test
in the salon, we had a conversation, and they made me feel bad.
Okay.
Because I was like, look, I don't talk on my DM. This is my number. If you want to buy a house, call. Like, literally, that's how I would cut them off.
And do they call you? Do they call you?
Never. Even
because they don't want no house, they want something else.
I've tried to be a little bit nicer, like, hey, how are you, beautiful? Oh, I'm great. How are you? How was your day? How was your day? Where you from? Like, so we go through this whole dialogue. I'm trying not to be rigid and cold. And normally at some point I say, hey, this is not my preferred method of conversation.
Okay.
Here is my number. If you would like to continue conversing, feel free to give me a call or text. They generally do not convert until call or text.
Okay.
Men
What you got?
suck.
Is it because they married or something and they don't want like the?
I wonder, are they from the country trying to get some green cards? You want to be
Now,
is it the African men contacting you?
These are normal, and I don't know if these are fake pages.
Men in general suck.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I was here. He about to take it here.
Yeah, because we just do. I mean, like I should say we. I mean, just as a whole, it's just the men's council needs to get together and kick some of these cats out. But like it's men in general. A lot of men can't hold conversations. A lot of men.
Is that why they do a lot of texting?
Huh?
Is that why they do a lot of texting? Because I feel like men who do a lot of texting have no social skills.
Well,
I feel like if you can articulate to me in text
Yeah.
in a way that holds my attention,
Yeah.
we already on to something.
I don't
Yeah,
like
right.
texting, no.
I don't like texting.
It's
Mhm.
impersonal.
But if you can text me in a way
yeah,
that you have intrigued my intelligence
yeah.
and you can hold me in a conversation,
Okay.
then I feel you've earned the right to converse with me.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
for me, that text tells me a lot of who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Do you know the English language?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Exactly.
No, I dated somebody who was like, "Why you gotta use them big words?" Oh,
See,
wow, that's what I'm saying. So if you
Yes.
can articulate,
Mhm.
that's one of the check boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe now we can now have a conversation. So I'm not turned off by text.
You get a minimum of 3 texts from me. After that, pick up the phone and call me. I just don't feel like, so tell me a little bit about yourself. You actually want me to text this to you?
That's
Okay.
the conversation get deep.
Yeah.
I think men are terrible because women are liars.
Ooh,
All right,
whoa.
y'all. Oh, Jesus Christ. He would do this on my podcast.
Let me tell you what I mean. Let me tell you what I
Did he
mean.
just take
Let's-
it
I
there?
say, and I'm doing, and I always have to
Really,
give this
Ron?
disclaimer because we just talked about this. I'm
Let him explain.
overgeneralizing. These are overgeneralizations. So if you don't find yourself in there, then don't,
Then
you
don't
know.
be offended.
But your girlfriend probably is, and somebody that you know is in
in
this
that
generalization that I'm talking about. The reason I say women are liars, even on so I'm going through divorce right now. I've ventured out on Facebook dating, and
Already?
yeah,
No time to heal?
that's my healing. Yeah.
Really, Ron?
Now, hold on. Now listen. Everybody do stuff differently.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I waited for 2 years before I started back dating.
Women are different, and you have to realize inside, just
Really?
being transparent.
It seems like you don't want to be by yourself.
Well, no, that's not it. I could totally be by myself.
You just want to enjoy someone's.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy somebody's company.
Now see, that's
So I
the
feel
way
like
to say
you
it.
want
And I
you
would-
using her to get
Jennifer
over
over here, like I'm just trying to use people.
because how you put it was great, because there are people who do just enjoy other people's company.
Yes.
Because I know, listen, when I was with
as long as he
Hold on.
conveys that up front.
And that's what I do. I'm a terrible liar. I'm a terrible liar. So I'm not. Yeah, I just tell you right out the gate.
Really just looking for
So-
someone to
Yeah.
enjoy some adult.
Was I wrong
Yeah.
that I didn't want to? I couldn't really stomach the male species
but that's
when I went through my divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took your time based
Can I
on what you
redeem
went through.
myself?
Why?
You know what I mean?
Look,
Based on
why?
what you went
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, because everybody just oohed me when I said with my liars. On my Facebook dating, I've had a lot of women, and I like to read profiles, which a lot of men don't. That's why I say men suck, because they don't. They just look at pictures like 3-year-olds and then just click. Oh,
But what are you looking for when you look at the profile?
when I look at their profile, I look to find out whether they liars or not. Because a lot of these women will say, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. I don't want this and I don't want that.
Did you read my profile?
And no.
Okay.
But I mean, this is I get that
What
a
you
lot.
come up with
And
me.
so what I get is that, ma'am, I'm everything that you said that you didn't want it, yet here you are. You chose me. Why did you choose me if you saying that you don't want this, you don't want that?
That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep.
Because the thing is,
the reason I say I don't listen to what women tell me they not gonna do or what they not and what they not, because you're just talking. I'm saying it's not a harsh you're a liar. I think a lot of them just don't understand what they want.
Yeah.
I think they have no idea. They don't. And so what I find is, but the reason I say men are liars too, I say women are liars. They come out the gate. Men lie in defense. Like you'll say, "Are you married?" No, I ain't married, bro.
Do you come out the gay line?
Huh?
Do you come out the gay line?
I'm not good at lying, so no.
He ain't good at lying.
No, I'm not. So I just come out the gate. But also with me telling you the truth, you just put on your profile what you ain't gonna put up with. I just told you that I'm not all the way through this divorce. I said I'm in the middle of it, which is fine with me. Well, you said I ain't dealing with this and I ain't dealing with that. Ma'am, I'm that. But you dealing with me.
And see, that's the thing. I kind of feel that I kind of feel that when people go ahead, they get puffed up, they say what they're not gonna do and they are gonna do. You always gonna do the complete opposite. Whatever you the strongest about, and you say you not gonna do. When it's faced and it's put right in front of you, and you have to make a split decision, unless it didn't messed you up in a certain way, or you just really die hard not putting up with it. You gonna stick your little pinky toe in there and you gonna test it.
My belief is I don't have to even talk about it. I just have to be it. So I don't have to do this list.
Can we put the camera on you, man?
Yeah, put the camera on
in a certain way, and either it's gonna work for you or it's not.
I need to say
so I don't have to give you a disclaimer. I don't date nobody married. If I ask you if you're married and you say you are, I'm leaving. Like, so why does there need to be this long? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that, because we know for the right one, we'll do some stuff that we said we would.
You know. Yeah, but
so,
man, we just met. How am I the right one?
You're absolutely right.
I get it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One answer is because most of the answers to those questions are lies. They're not telling the truth. Yeah. Somebody, if they're married, they're not gonna tell you the truth.
Right. Women are astonished when I tell the truth. Yeah.
So do they still proceed with you when they find out that you are, quote unquote, going through the divorce?
I haven't found one that hasn't.
Really?
What was that question again?
So, but you know, but my main,
and he's a decent looking guy.
Yeah.
So let's just see what he might do.
Yeah. And
so do you feel like they trying to see if they're gonna be the next chosen one?
And then I just want to talk to you.
You told him you'll do anything he's talking about.
Yeah. And they will. And on my profile, I made it funny. I said, it ain't tricking if you got it, but you probably ain't gonna get it. And so I'm telling you that I'm not your sugar daddy. Like, I'm telling you, it ain't tricking.
Take them on trips.
It ain't tricking if you got it, but if it's mine, you probably not gonna get it. I'm just saying, like, I don't even know you like that. And I get women that say, "Oh, I want a man to take care of me," and and then you chose me, so you hit the little heart, and now, like, did you read my profile? Because no, I'm not paying none of your bills. I'm not doing none of that. Like, it's going to be a process to that.
You don't pay bills?
I believe in taking care of, but no, I'm not being used. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Because there's a difference.
There's too many cats out here simping. I'm not going to be buying nobody's affection. You don't like me because you like me, and you're going to love me because you love me. I'm not putting no money into it. I'm not into that. I'm not into buying affection.
So let's segue this in then. So when is it a good time to start actually doing something like that? So let's say this, it's always in a man's nature to want to help and aid, correct? So let's say if I see come on, man. Let me get it out, dog. Let me get it out. Hold on. Because listen, it's not always for all men to want to help. But when you have a good man, a kind-hearted man, what he wants to do is he wants to make sure that you are okay.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that?
Agree.
Can we agree on that in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So we got a baseline. So when is it okay for a woman to deny that help, or is she going to accept that help because she knows that he can take care of something?
I don't.
Without, well, girl, you don't count because you don't fall in that category. I know you don't fall in that category. But I'm saying in a general sense, like, when is it okay for that man to go ahead and say, look, I can help you? But when is it good for her to deny that help because she can actually do it on her own and not wanting that help out of convenience? Say that again.
Right, she should be capable.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever lifestyle she's accustomed to prior to him, she should be capable of maintaining.
Yeah.
Now the trick is meeting the need that she doesn't talk about. Doing something beyond the basics. You ain't got to pay her rent, you ain't got to pay her utilities. But hey, if you send her a gift card, a bouquet of flowers, and say, "Hey, here on me," just something out of the ordinary, just because you want to be a blessing.
Right, because paying bills start getting a little too personal.
Come on now.
Yeah. Agree.
There it is.
It speaks ownership.
And there it is.
And they own you.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And see, that's why I say, well, who's gonna say something else?
I said, not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. There you go. So see, and I kind of feel that a lot of times when we're dating, people get very lax. You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't ask enough questions. We don't dive deeper into stuff. We move into stuff because let's just be real. We have a lot of needs as people.
Yeah.
We just have a lot of needs.
Yeah.
Human things, period. So let's say, oh, baby, you need help on that cell phone. Baby, I am kind of like, okay. So, all right. So, you look like a brother gonna slide.
I'm paying your cell phone bill.
Because the thing is, then, if it's deemed as, because I've heard women say this, it could be deemed as, oh, well, he mean or he rude or he don't want to help out. He see me struggling. But I've always said it like this. Let me tell you why I'm with my wife. I'm with my wife because this is the first woman that I have been with who came to me and told me, Jeff, I don't need you for nothing. She told me, all I want you to do is love me and show me some attention. Baby, I could do that all day.
And most women I know aren't going to allow you to take care of them.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to think outside the box in order to be a blessing to us.
But it's out there. But it's still, but because I'm speaking to that dynamic that's still out there. For that other half of women that don't need it, sometimes men, for the half that's out there that don't need it, there's another half that do need it. Yeah. And sometimes, in most cases, the none, a man, I don't want to say that he's attracting that. I think he's just gravitating toward that because that's his nature. You feel what I'm saying?
Well,
it's in his.
Start off with that. Oh, I can do this.
Some men lead with that
because I feel that it's in his nature because he wants to help. But I think that when he gets cut off, then it's like, oh crap. How can I help that woman now?
Do you think?
What can I do for her?
I done had men when I just met them. I want to take you on a trip. Can we book this trip? I'm like, dude, I don't even know your last name.
He ain't trying to pay no bill. He trying to woo you and get you someplace good.
I'm telling you, like, I done turned down so many different trips, and people be like, girls be like, some women be like, girl, you turn that trip. I'm like, car booty or airplane ride type of, because guess what? When you accepting things like that, what's happening when you get there? He's gonna expect something. You see what I'm saying? So I was just always taught like to have your own. I done had men ask me about paying my mortgage, like, hey, can I live with you? No, thank you. I can pay my own bills. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I agree. And I've had it a lot. I'm not interested in that because I feel like it's a sign of control. You see what I'm saying? So I was always taught have your own, be an independent woman, things like that. And if a man does something for you, that's extra. But be able to take care of your own, provide for yourself, not sitting here thinking that, oh, I need this man to take care of me, things like that. You see what I'm saying?
And vice versa, men, stop moving in with women. Have your own.
Agree.
It don't never end right when you walking out the door with that garbage bag.
And it ain't your home.
Ron, have you been there before with that garbage bag?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'll
watch you.
Like he knows this
I
also.
look at a woman when approaching her as an opportunity to take care of her. I've never, even with my current wife,
say that again.
I've never looked at it as, well, I'm gonna get to meet this young lady and see if I can take care of her. I have to look for the courtship, like somebody that you can get to know.
So let's talk about that courtship.
Along that way,
I'm
like, man, I think I'm gonna marry you.
So what is proper courtship? What is proper courtship nowadays?
What's up? Like, what y'all doing? Like, you want to go get something to eat? And then communication. That's the biggest thing. Because honestly, me and my wife, we work together today, and before we got married, we kind of worked together.
Okay. So is that how y'all met?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of how we met.
Okay.
I'm tell you how the second half went though. From my point of view. No, it's good though. So she worked at this company that I was trying to work at, and in the back with the graphic designers. And usually you see male graphic designers but she was in the graphic design area, the only female. And I'm like, man, look at her hair. So from that point on, the courtship started. You know, that's how I approach it. Because I love women with beautiful hair. And that's how I think I love your hair.
Okay. And
at that point, that's where it started. That's where we're at right now. So I don't look at women like that. I've never done that.
Okay.
So I feel like you guys said, when you put yourself in a position where I'm taking care of her, people can misconstrue that as control.
Yeah.
Facts.
Especially nowadays, I have 4 daughters, and that's the first thing I see. You gotta take care of you.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I'm with
I just want to give my little 2 cents.
No, that's good. How many? So you were a good guy. How many guys y'all think out here on BS?
Ooh.
Like,
I say about 65%.
That's a high number. Why you say 65%?
Jesus Christ. Where do I begin?
Now, if that's 65%, keeping in perspective, that means there's another 35% that's untapped.
No, I think that's the good guys right there. The 35% is the good guys.
Good?
And a lot of times women.
What's the ones that are married, happily married to somebody.
And probably the dude that's not saying he'll take a trip to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we had to narrow all of that down into a number, when you think of the men that are married, happily married, not in your DMs being a dog, and not trying to pay for the trip, what is a narrowed down number? Because I just think it gets smaller.
I'm just gonna say that. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, I say cut out the guys that are married. I'm talking about the guys on like these that are up for courtship, that are in the game right now.
Well, yeah, it's the number of available men that are
getting busy and they consider lanes. And I personally, I kind of like the laid back guy. I don't want to be with a guy that everybody knows, everybody dates, the neighborhood dope boys. I have never been interested in those type of guys. I like somebody that I can hang out with. Like, I don't want it to be like it's a chore to be with me because you got so many girls in rotation. When I find out I'm in rotation, y'all know about that rotation, huh?
I feel like
you watching that. Hey. Oh no, you done put your 2 cents in
I feel like I'm about to be
He good now, he covered. He taking that was long time ago.
Because I'm dating older. I'm open to dating older guys. So the guys that I'm conversing with are older, and even them, they trying to keep a roster.
It's not that they trying to keep a roster. You know what I think it is that the guy that you want, so does everybody else.
I'm sorry.
That's a good.
What it is the guy that you just described. Most of these, it's a lot of cats. It's awkward out there. They can't hold a conversation, and so the dude that you just described, all the other women want them too, and then you throw some looks in there. Now you just up the ante. Now, like, a lot of women want that guy, and so maybe he's not trying to carry a roster. It's just hard not to.
I don't mind a funny looking guy.
Somebody got.
I don't. I don't mind a funny looking guy, and his heart and everything like that. I've dated quite a few funny looking guys. I like those actually. Yeah, I've dated older, but I'm gonna tell you, I dated one older man. He lied to me about his age. He told me he was 56. He ended up being 65, but he had a body like a 40-year-old man. Woo. You wouldn't have thought that he was no 65 years old.
Okay. I don't know. She said because he was talking about the nerd and all that other stuff, and then she was talking about
they were talking about the man that they want, and I was saying, like, I do. I call it the Toxic Male Podcast, but I do listen to, and you have to rightly divide it, but I listen to, like, I used to listen to Kevin Samuels, and I used to listen to like a lot of those Toxic Male podcasts. A lot of the stuff I'm not riding with. I don't agree with, like, being angry at women and stuff like that, but some of the stuff that they say is true. And one of the things that they say is a lot of the guy that a lot of women want.
Now when you
make it sound so simple.
And in context, you have to listen to what's being said, not the emotion behind what's said. I don't care. I don't give a damn if nobody angry. You could be angry. You know what I mean? When you talking about stuff, that's cool. But at the end of the day, what I'm paying attention to is, okay, you're angry because in some way it touched you and it hit your nerve. It ain't gonna hit my nerve because that ain't me. So you're just expressing to me how you feel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you got to listen to what's being said instead of the emotion. So when you take these different podcasts, like what was that podcast? Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't know if y'all listen to that. My man be going in, but when you actually listen to what he's saying, there's some truth behind what he's saying. You know what I mean? If you listen to Kevin Samuels was going in. But the big thing we got to remember is, though, people wanted to go on the show. And when they want to go on your show and when they knock on the door, when they click that button to accept the request, now you have to be open to what's being said. If you take criticism to it, you have to be open to that. So a lot of people got mad at Kevin for opening up a door, but I didn't think Kevin opened up the door. He had the platform. Mm-hmm. So if anybody wanted to come on, they can open up the door because they knew what he was about before they got on. You feel me? So I don't look at it as, you say toxic male. I don't think it's too much toxic male. What I think is people expressing how they feel because they have an audience. So then when they open up that door, now it's like, all right, you got a 50-50 chance of getting ridiculed or skinned like a cat or chopped up like a duck in this bad boy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I say that tongue in cheek. It's
They're
not
saying things that we were taught not to say openly.
Yes.
You know, you think
that's it.
Or you've come across it, you're observant to it, but you're not supposed to say it out loud. But I'm shocked at the thought process of women in my age group. Like, you still struggling with that? Yeah. You still drawing that guy? Like I'm just shocked. I'll be 50. Like that shouldn't be your thing. Like really, so I see how if the majority of women in my age group are thinking like this, then that guy's perception of women in my age group, this is why it's harder for me to weed through because I'm not the norm.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
So
you're different.
I'm sticking out like a sore thumb and I look difficult. I look complicated and complex.
Yes.
Because everybody else is letting you grab sharks in a 40 ounce and come by the house.
You have standards, and other women don't have standards.
And I'll be very open and honest.
Real talk.
I'll be very
sharks in a 40.
Real talk.
Yeah. Well, I live in Maryville and he was trying to come back. They don't
even want to take you out sometimes.
No. And these are men in their 50s, 60s.
But it's a test to see what type of woman you are. It's like, which way can I come at her? If you with it, they gonna be with it. And then you wondering why when you call him, he ain't answering the phone. I'm like, guess what? He got what he wanted already. I ain't gotta put nothing else into this.
And I'm gonna tell you this. To speak to the point that you made earlier about being different and everything, we have to remember too, we live in a culture where both men and women aren't used to right and correct.
Right.
You feel me? Because when we're from when we're young, we are taught to be a certain way. But then when you finally have your eyes opened up and you become an adult, you realize that the world is a cruel place. So we're not introduced first off to the nurturing side of the world. You know what I mean? We're taught the nurturing side of the world because that's what mommy and daddy teach us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when they let us loose and we become of age, now we have to weed through the mess. So I like to look at it. Sometimes both sexes are we get survival instinct and mode going on. And then what we do is we put up the walls. And when we put up the walls, those liars you spoke of, the reason why we have liars and we hide behind that layer of social media is because we don't want to we're taught to guard the heart.
Especially women. In defense of women, I said they're liars because they have this social pressure that they have to live up to. Like, we got kids. Well, I don't want to get too graphic, but it's just some things that as a woman you're taught that you shouldn't want. And the bottom line is maybe you do. And maybe you do want that.
And say that and date that. Like, I feel like
be open about it.
But they can.
I go to church with a lot of women, you know, and if you're not waiting, then don't pretend you're waiting.
Yeah, right.
You grown. Like,
but it's social pressure. It's so much social pressure.
Because what it does is, my small little bucket that I'm trying to swim in, you done gave it up.
Right. We go to the same church now. You think that we all?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all sliding numbers and all that, and I'm ignoring people. So now I look like something wrong with
But it's so much social pressure on women. And now I'm playing devil's advocate. Now I just jumped over to the other side. Now I said that these women are liars, but like I said, it's so. Do you know the social pressure? Men don't have do men have a name for like whore? Like women call each other hoes and
now they're allowed to be sexually awakened?
Who, women?
Women.
Kind of, sort of.
Body count and all.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Kinda,
In my
sorta.
day.
Yeah, you was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was nasty. Yeah.
He just threw it all out there, didn't he?
Women are very vocal now about everything they do, sexually, all kind of stuff. What's that one girl who? Did y'all see that video of the one girl? What's the
Don't say it.
You know what her name is? Suki.
No, don't tell
am I
them
saying her name right? Suki.
Right.
I know you're talking about.
No, honey, she was in Paris.
Don't be graphic with it. Listen, we're just gonna say she was talking about doing some
utterly disgusting
and saying some things out in public.
Disgraceful. As a woman, I was just flabbergasted. Like, I didn't even know women like kind of like carry on and treat themselves and act like that in
That's
such a manner.
what I just said.
Yeah,
you are literally doing what I just said. If a man said those same things, we wouldn't be here.
Me and
like,
say those things, though.
But me and Jeff wouldn't be here like, oh my God, he's disgusting. we probably wouldn't even say nothing about it. But that's the social pressure that I'm talking about.
Because
that's the pressure. What you just did, you said it was as a woman. Well, that's what these women have to deal with. So that's why they lie. They say that I'm not, I don't put things like that in my mouth. And I didn't even ask you to. And you just went and did it.
So think about it. Let's put this into perspective. Let's bring it back. Let's put it in perspective. Let's bring it back to perspective. So
did you see the video?
Okay.
No.
So the thing is this. What
y'all don't might not want to see that video. You seen it? So y'all know exactly
what he's saying is what he said.
Suki, look her up. She was in Paris. She said, "I want to get my coochie."
Look, okay. Look, listen. Well, my show, dang it, my show.
They didn't hear me say that.
You own the mic and we live.
I'm sorry, people. I don't talk like that. I was talking to Kim. Sorry.
Hold on, yeah. We've been live for 51 minutes.
Either you want to talk about it or you don't.
So this the deal.
Sorry, y'all.
All of what he said. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it back. What he's saying is that when that social pressure, like, what are women taught?
You think that's social?
Hold on. Look, hold on. We went from. Didn't you say earlier, ma'am, that women are now being more vocal about how they are? Hold on. Let me get it out.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen. So we being more vocal sexually about things, right? Being more vocal because this is the same thing that men does. Now, to flip it back to what my man said, the social pressure comes from you said she was being nasty. If I heard another man say something about another woman, I'm gonna just say, hey dog, you wilding out. And I'm gonna keep it that way. And it's cool. Because it's it's like I don't know if it's like a code, or I think that's just how we wired as men.
Be news.
It ain't news. Because the thing is, we know that men gonna do something. We know that men want to have some. We can openly admit to our urges, our desires, our thing, and we don't have no shame with it. When we talk,
love on each other differently. Like, you got a homie that may have killed somebody, but you've been knowing him since he was 2. He next door, so you still got his back. You may not see him every day, but that's still your boy. See, y'all got a different code.
I can give you that, but still, there are some instances though where sometimes you got to let that moral code go, and you do have to distance yourself from people. Some people just not good for you. You know what I mean? So even though the coast, I see men as having sympathy for another man. We can sympathize with you, but if I ain't gonna rock with you, I'm not gonna rock with you. I can say, hey, big dog, that's kind of rough, but I might have to separate from you. But to speak to that social prep, that's why. You want to know why women can't be feel like they can't express themselves sexually and be out there and vocal about it? Because of what you just said. You said she was being nasty.
I have to say,
talk to me, Malachi.
Expressed, in my opinion, is the right type of social pressure that needs to be exerted.
And I agree.
I mean, to me, we tend to make things, as human beings, we tend to make things more complicated than they need to be. And part of that complication is what's been spoken of now with the double standard, right? As one who endorses just a straight biblical standard, if you're engaging in a certain behavior, whether you're a male or a female, and it's promiscuity, you are a whore.
Yeah, it
is.
You're a male, you're a whore. If you're doing it, you're a woman, you're a whore.
Yeah.
It should be that simple.
But it's not.
You're right.
It's
not because we make it not that simple.
Yeah.
We want the double standards.
Yeah.
And also, we want to pretend that there aren't differences that men and women naturally have, right?
Speak on it, sir.
And so and that's not to say that makes it okay for the man to be a whore now. It doesn't make it okay. But when women get this idea that to attain some sense of empowerment, that means that I can be just like a man. You're going out of your element. And why would empowerment be that I'm going to act as disgusting as men?
Right. Yeah.
So we make things just too complicated.
And this is why me and this man be on the phone for hours and hours, because we talk about stuff like this. And when we have these conversations, it's enlightening. People in the corner, this is Malachi Moore. Redirect Group Focus audience, please meet Malachi Moore. Thank you. Thank y'all for giving the claps. I appreciate this. My audience is now your audience.
So, to piggyback on what Malachi said, traditionally we teach that women don't have those urges. What I've come to learn as I've grown older.
Keep it real, sister.
Oh,
we do.
Wait, hold on. Don't shoot it down.
Sometimes they're uncontrollable, but we've always been taught not to talk about what we naturally go through. We're just taught not to.
Now, do you believe that if the dialogue, we might go over now, we got 5 minutes, Jesus. Now, do you believe that the dialogue needs to change then? If it was more socially acceptable and I'm not saying socially acceptable to put your business out there, but if it was more socially acceptable in the home to discuss these things and to teach kids and to teach teenagers, have the conversation, know yourself, know who you are, but keep those things private.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
Or just don't say it.
Or just don't say it. But if the dynamic changes in the home, do you believe it's better to have that conversation?
For me, in my house, I grew up in a house where we talked about everything.
Okay.
I raised my kids in the house. We talk about everything. So the culture in my home, we discuss everything, good or bad. Now, from a biblical standpoint, I encourage abstinence. If it does not happen, I then educate them so that they can protect themselves.
There you go.
In what endeavor they've chosen. I explain the consequences and why I think they should wait. Inevitably, the decision is theirs and I give it to them. But my belief, and my children understand, my belief is all biblical.
Okay.
My standpoint now, and at any point, you can make a bad decision. You can come back from that bad decision and still try to get back on track. And that's what I teach and that's what I believe. But yeah, I know that some people don't acknowledge certain things about women. We've been taught to package it so neatly as if we don't struggle.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
We do. We've been taught to contain it, or we've been taught to keep it under wraps. We don't talk to one another about it. Nobody told me that, hey, Shalika, something might happen in your 30s. Get prepared. You might go through some. No one taught me to expect this big change. And when I went through it, I'm like calling people because I have older friends. I'm like, why nobody told me that there's this sexual awakening that happens again? And then it might happen again in my 40s. And I'm going to need some extra prayer.
I was talking to a woman and she said that she, I guess women in their 40s kind of feel like men in their 20s, and I like it's like men in their 20s is, as a man near his 40, he starts slowing down a little bit. What once excited me it still excites me, don't get me wrong, but not like it's controllable now. But women in there, as they approach, I think it's probably 40s, it's maybe like mid 30s to 40s. But you it's flip-flop, man. Life is a mug, bro. Like when you that young and you vibrant and you don't even have the urge like that, and then all of a sudden you turn 40, now you feel like a 20-year-old boy. And that's how I used to feel when I was 20. Now it's like we're not even matching. It's like your 40-year-old man, they ain't really trying to
I do believe a 50-year-old male and a 50-year-old female are in two completely opposite ends of the spectrum. You all turn into couch potatoes. You are not performing up to snuff. We just got our second win.
Right.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Still trying to get our groove back.
And that's
These are again, these are generalizations. These are generalizations. Yes.
I'm basing it on my conversation. That I have with other individuals in my age group. Like most of my friends, the men that they are dating, they have issue with.
Lazy.
No, it's not lazy. They're not.
Some is erectile dysfunction.
Wait, hold on. Let's shut it down.
Dysfunction is a real thing.
Hold on. All right, look. I have 10 seconds. I'm going to shut this down and we are going to continue the conversation. Okay, so y'all, it's your boy Life Coach Jeff coming to you live with the Redirect Regroup Refocus podcast. We thank you for watching and we thank this beautiful audience that we have had here today and Miss Jennifer Williams for the networking event that she put on. And we thank these crazy people for denying her the right to go ahead and be outside. It's raining anyway, but we got a suite, y'all. We got a suite. So we're going to enjoy this suite. So I'm going to play the outro. And remember, this is Redirect Regroup Refocus, your boy Life Coach Jeff. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect Regroup Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect Regroup Refocus and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect Regroup Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect Regroup Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.